This is KGW News at Sunrise.
She told me that someone was trying to kill her and someone stole her car and all this other stuff. So I was like, okay, well, hold on a second.
A Camas family recounting what happened when a kidnapping victim showed up on their doorstep. We'll have the full story coming up. And imagine walking down the beach and seeing this huge guy, 12 feet of thresher shark alive on the sand in Long Beach, Washington. That'll make you stay out of the water. What happened to this 300-pound shark that made it a learning opportunity? Plus,
that is a live picture, by the way.
amazing.
And it is 5 o'clock in the morning on the first day of school for the kids out there at Oregon City High School, the home of the Pioneers. And that's where Devin Haskins and Sunrise photographer Eric Patterson are hanging out. So there you go. Back to school today for several kids all across the state of Oregon.
Yes, we want to say welcome back to Lincoln County Schools, Oregon Trail, Newburgh. All kinds of schools today are going back, including Centennial and Forest Grove and McMinnville.
Lots of
Welcome
students,
to Tuesday.
thousands.
Yes, good morning to you.
Rodney, I know that yesterday was one of the hotter ones, but today even hotter.
No. Yesterday was nice.
Yesterday was great.
Where'd you go?
Just roll with me here, Rodney.
It's only like 80.
Thank you.
82 yesterday. I thought it was spectacular outside. Hey, today we're going to jump up 10 degrees to about 92. 61 is the temperature outside right now. Here comes that back to school. First day, as we mentioned for some of you, about 58 degrees out the door, 77 at noon. And then we'll get up to about 90 degrees. Haven't done that in a while. We'll do it again this afternoon, but the humidity levels should be fairly low, and that's your forecast.
We start this morning with just a terrifying moment for a Clark County family. A kidnapping victim showed up at their home pleading for help. She told them she'd been carjacked, she'd been kidnapped, and then she somehow escaped.
So this all happened early Saturday morning in Camas. KGW's Catherine Cook had a chance to talk to the family yesterday.
She ignored the front door and came in here.
It was 4:30 Saturday morning. That's when Jamie Woods says a stranger came onto his property and woke his whole family. They live on Northeast 28th Street near 242nd in Camas. Woods says the woman started banging on their back door.
Long enough for my dog to go crazy like that.
I was scared because I thought someone was like breaking in and like robbing us.
I mean, she was desperate to get in, which I can understand.
Woods says he opened the door just enough for the woman to speak.
She told me that someone was trying to kill her and someone stole her car and all this other stuff. So I was like, okay, well, hold on a second.
Woods called 911 and walked the woman outside.
We didn't know exactly what he was walking into.
Police say the woman told them she'd been carjacked near Mill Plain and Grand in Vancouver. She says the suspect asked her for water, which she provided. Then she let him get in her car. That's when she says he held her at knife point and forced her to give him control of the car. She says several miles later on a dirt road in Camas, she jumped out of the moving car and escaped.
She was all dirty, barefoot, no shoes.
With deputies on the way, Woods took this cell phone video of the woman for safety. You can hear her recounting what happened.
Thought he was gonna kill me, so I jumped out.
The only thing I can think of is like maybe he was bringing her out here to kill her, dump her, rape her, who knows. I'm just thankful that she got out of the vehicle and got here to someone that was willing to call the authorities and help her, regardless of her attempting to break into the house.
I'm pretty proud of him for how he reacted with the situation.
Woods is just relieved.
We didn't know if she was, crazy or if she was actually telling the truth, but come to find out the whole story was completely true.
And then less than an hour after all of that, deputies spotted the suspect driving the victim's car. That led to a 10-minute chase. Deputies and Vancouver police pinned in the car and arrested the suspect, who, at least so far, has refused to identify himself. This morning, he is in the Clark County Jail on multiple charges, including robbery and kidnapping.
The man accused of murdering a mother of 6 and his former partner will be in court at 9:30 this morning. Mohammed Adan is charged with murdering Rachel Abraham, who you see here. She was found dead at her home in southeast Portland, August 27th. Records show her former partner, Adan, has a history of abuse against Rachel and was arrested multiple times for it, the most recent July 26th. In mid-August, just one day after a bail hearing, the nonprofit group Portland Freedom Fund posted his bail, setting Adan free. 7 days later, Rachel was killed. We talked to Margaret Carter about this case. Carter was the first black woman to serve in the Oregon legislature for 22 years, and she's known for her advocacy. She says Oregon lawmakers need to take another look at the rules involving bail and make it harder for domestic abusers to get out.
The one thing we know in terms of data is that if a person is a violator of the rights of women, domestic violence, we know if they say they're going to kill you, they're going to try everything they can to get to you in order to kill you, because it's a matter of power. This is not about love, or nothing of that nature. This is about power and control. And that's exactly what created this heinous crime. This young man must have had a lot of insecurities himself and she's tiny, to be able to kill somebody in such a dastardly way.
So Carter also had a close relationship with Rachel. She told us she considered her part of the family. We also talked to her about the Portland Freedom Fund's history and her take on Oregon's current bail system, which lawmakers changed this year. You can find that interview and our coverage of this case on our KGW YouTube channel. And if you or someone you know is a victim of domestic violence and you're not sure where to turn, call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233 or just text the word START to 88788. That hotline is 24/7.
Now to the latest on the deadly plane crash that happened over the weekend near Whidbey Island, north of Seattle. We're learning more about the 10 people who died in Sunday's crash. So the woman we're showing you right here on the right is Sandy Williams. She was a civil rights activist based in Spokane. She was on vacation celebrating her birthday. And on the left there is Ross Andrew Mickle. He was also on board the plane with his family. He owned Ross Andrew Wineries in Woodinville, and this is part of a statement from his family. It reads, "We are deeply saddened and beyond devastated at the loss of our beloved Ross Mickle, Lauren Hilty, Remy, and their unborn baby Luca. Our collective grief is unimaginable. They were a bright and shining light in the lives of everyone who knew them. Although their time with us was too short, we will carry their legacy forward." The body of one passenger was found on Sunday, but the Coast Guard called off the search for the other 9 yesterday afternoon. The names of all 10 victims are expected to be released later this morning.
Here are some of the other headlines that we're tracking for you this morning. The city of Longview declared a 150-person homeless camp a public health emergency and is now clearing the site. The camp is on city-owned property off Alabama Street. People have been allowed to camp there for years, but now Longview is moving them to a city-owned parking lot. It's not clear how long they can stay, but the city says it does want to contain campers to just one location. KGW did reach out for clarification, but we haven't heard back quite yet. Police say a man died in Seaside after falling out of his kayak. They got a call around 11 o'clock yesterday morning about an empty kayak floating offshore. Witnesses say the man was in a group of other paddlers but somehow got separated from his kayak. His body was later recovered. Police say the man was in his 50s and was wearing a wetsuit but no life jacket. And take a look at this. It is a thresher shark that washed ashore in Long Beach on Friday. It's a big one, 12 feet long, weighing more than 300 pounds. The Seaside Aquarium says the shark was still alive when staff got there but died a short time later. Experts are now dissecting the shark, and they invited the public to watch, calling it a learning opportunity. The examination should give them clues about why the shark washed ashore in the first place. And those are some of your Tuesday morning headlines.
Yeah, that is 12 feet of shark, like that is not a small boy there on the sand. That's a little scary.
Shark's defense, if I were 12 feet long, I would weigh 3.
Okay, it is back to school today and back to work after a long holiday weekend and back to the heat a little bit.
Not unusual, of course, to see 90s, especially the first 10 days or so of September, but we've had our fair share of them.
Yeah.
All right, the warning map, a lot of this is actually goes into effect tonight and tomorrow. The red flag warnings, which include you folks in Sweet Home down through Willamette Pass area in red. Again, this starts at 6 p.m. tonight, goes through the day tomorrow. This lighter color will be a red flag warning for Wednesday from the Dalles out into Pendleton. Now, the heat advisory, that's today and that's tomorrow. This includes Ontario, John Day, Baker City, Burns. All of you folks have a chance to be right back up to around 100 degrees. So the hot weather is returning. Just for a day, though, this time here on the west side, and then we'll cool back down. We don't have any weather active, if you will, meaning no weather fronts, no rain chance anywhere, no storm threat today out east either. It is a comfortable morning. Hillsboro, 49 degrees. How about that? One thing you like about September is that typically, even if you get hot, relative humidity factors are lower than they would be, say, in June, July, or August. And today, this cool start kind of shows you, 52 in Kaiser, that the dew points are relatively low, in the 40s right now, in fact. The relative humidity factors will be no higher than about 25% this afternoon with that north to northeast wind, and the temperatures getting up into the 90s. When we were really hot in July, for example, instead of dew points in the 40s, we had dew points in the 60s, and the relative humidity factor was nearing 40% at times early afternoon. So nothing like that. 48 in Newport, 52 in Eugene, 56. These are current numbers out in Pendleton. The forecast numbers today. Now, with all that said, you will feel the temperature in the sun back up to about 93 in Salem. McMinnville, Corvallis also expected to touch 90 degrees. It will be a clear start for all of us, including you folks at the coast. Longview 87 today, but Battleground likely hits 90, Vancouver 92. That north to east wind direction will produce some breezy east winds to about 25 out in the Columbia River Gorge today, and perhaps this afternoon you folks in Gresham will notice the wind starting to bounce a little bit. All right, 7-day is still number 1, dry. Number 2, after we hit 92 today, we go back down to 84 tomorrow, 81 on Thursday, but then we're right back up to 90s on Friday and Saturday, and that is your forecast.
Woo. All right, Rod, thank you so much. Let's get ready to party and do a little learning as well, because today is the first day of school for a lot of students, including Oregon City High School. They have their whole marching band, the cheer team, up early with us this morning. We're going to be talking to some seniors reflecting on their final year in high school. That's coming up next on Sunrise.